How you doing there, folks? You folks are the best. The absolute best. How you doing? Good to see you. I'm going to make you guys this video entitled Jesus was a Toltec sorcerer. Okay, so you have all this confusion about Jesus, all this rigmarole, all this hullabaloo, you know. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you the story, all right? And this is the accurate story. Now, a lot of other stories are accurate. I'm going to put it all together for you in about 10-12 minutes. Okay? So you can take this to the bank. Okay? This is what's accurate about Jesus. Now, did Jesus exist? Yes. Where did he come from? He came from Emmanuel. First of all, Jesus was Emmanuel's twin. Or, even better yet, he was Emmanuel's double. Okay? And what happened is Emmanuel dreamed up Jesus using dreaming technology, using Sorcerer's dreaming technology. Okay? And Emmanuel is the Manu, the life, Vivas Vatu Manu, the life of God incarnate in man. Okay? So he was a sorcerer, like the best one, you know what I mean? Like that motherfucker. Okay? And so there were some problems going on the earth at the time, and also the processions changing, things happening. Something that needs to happen in the last procession. And so Jesus was dreamed up by Emmanuel. Okay? So Jesus was the dreaming double. All right? And Emmanuel literally means I mean you well. Okay? So that's the phonetics. I mean you well. Now, Emmanuel's expression was mainly a mammalian expression. Mammalian. Okay, so the genetics are mainly mammalian. So like 80% mammalian, 20% reptilian. But there was a problem, like I told you. And it was like what's called Gorgonism. Okay? And what that is where, especially in Mesopotamia and Greece and places like that, over in those areas, where white people had became associated to the animal kingdom a long time ago, and it had pretty much majority of it had gotten taken care of during Kemet, but a lot of it was coming back due to pagan rites and animal sex cults. Okay. And that shit was just becoming a problem again. Because them motherfuckers were figuring out how to mate with animals again. Okay? And it's something that they always will do because it's in their genetics to do it. Okay, so because they don't really have a default. So Jesus came along, dreamed up by Emmanuel, to create a situation that you can have a default. In other words, there had never been a situation where it was unconditional love gotten off into the reptilian expression. Because Aisu in Sanskrit means reptile serpent. So Emmanuel dreams up Jesus. And you see how it's so hard to really put your finger on where Jesus was, you know. He was a Nazarene. He was Jesus of Galilee. He was this, he was that, he was that, he was this, you know. He was all over the fucking place. Because it was two of them. You see. And then when you're Jesus, you know, you can do all kind of shit, like you could dream up female doubles of yourself. But I won't get into that. So anyway, so Jesus, like He was very dynamic. He was here to reform the reptilian expression, quote unquote, Gorganism that was in the human genome, as well as all the characteristics that come along with that from a personality standpoint, energetic standpoint, and a psychological standpoint. He was here to rectify those issues. So that's why, the story overall is consistent, that he was dynamic, to say the least, and that he was here to make reformations, which is exactly the case. So why did he have to be born into the situation that he did? Well, okay, so it gets complicated, and you'll want logical explanations, and there aren't any. Okay, so Jesus was the last of the Egyptian pharaohs. Wrap your head around now. He was also heir to the throne of Persia. Wrap your head around now. And he was also heir to the throne of Rome, Roman Empire. Wrap your head around now. All at the same time. You see? So that creates a huge problem. So you got this one guy that can unite the whole world. You see? And then you got opposition to that. Because, see, things are already a certain way. You see? Okay. Now, does Jesus think he's going to unite the whole world? Nah. He knows that he's not going to. But what he knows is this, is that he's going to get off unconditional love into the genome's expression of the reptilian vibration. Because reptilian vibration is obsessive, territorial. It will always default under dynamic tension to its animal nature. Me. I have to control. I have to control. See? So Jesus' incarnation was to deal with all that. Okay? And he dealt with it very, very, very well. Okay? Was it easy for him? No. Was it supposed to be easy? Nope. A lot of stuff happened to him in his life that was, fucked up. Like, he was castrated. They cut his dick off. Because Nazarene actually means testicle tosser. So he was a Nazarene. He was a seer. In the scenes, in the sect called Essenes. He was a Gnostic. He had a wife who was from Persia. Now, we call her Mary Magdalene because she had red hair. Now, if you look at these Persian women, you'll see that some of them have the most beautiful, incredible looking red hair you ever seen in your life. I mean, like, wow. That kind of shit. And some of it's so red it turns purple. It's amazing looking. I mean, you think Texas women are the most beautiful women in the world? Persian women are the most beautiful women in the fucking world. So, he's married to this Persian girl. And she was from a place called Arania. A-U-R-A. Arania. N-I-A. Arania. The land of gold. So see, this is telling you the Jesus association. It's telling you Jesus association. Okay. Keep that in mind. Gold. Now, if Jesus is the solar logos, which he was, Ra. See, the golden ray. His wife is from Arania, the land of gold. So they go through all this stuff, and Jesus had all these different hardships. He was an armed warrior. He had an army of like 600 of the most highly trained mercenaries on the planet, which is why he was able to last so long, because he pretty much couldn't fuck his shit up. Okay, so now when it came time for, you hear all that, Jesus was crucified, and that's all a stage show. Okay, all right. Now Toltecs are shapeshifters. Okay, they can shift their assemblage point of awareness to appear to be or actually become something else within the spectrum of expression on this planet for a sentient being. Okay, in other words, they can be any sentient being. A goat. And of course, Jesus will be consummate, and because he's Emmanuel's double. So, and it even says it in the Bible, that Jesus was Technoc. In other words, Toltec, which simply means man of knowledge. Okay? But Jesus would have been all three of the Toltecs' achievements, which would be a man of knowledge, a warrior, and sorcerer. So, and then you see the lineage of sorcerers that he came from, like for instance, like Moses, who was the Pharaoh Akhenaten, who was able to quell all the sorcerers in Egyptian court. See what I'm saying? So, so they weren't able to be dealt with on the sorcerer level, but they had to gang up on them. Okay, that's what they had to do. So they go through all this stuff, and they have the stage show of Jesus crucifixion, and killing him and all that, and so they go through all that. And then, but really what it was is, his family life was in danger because he had children. And one other little detail about Jesus was also a hermaphrodite. Okay. But anyway, he had, hermaphrodite means both sex organs. So Jesus had a pussy and a dick. Okay. Anyway. So they go through all that, and they stage his death, and just to save his family's life because they were going to be killed. And so they went to Avignon in the south of France. His family did, and then Jesus left and went to England. So, set up shop there. Okay. And then as time went on, he went other places, and you'll hear some of the stories of, a sage came, and he was amazing all over the world. That's Jesus. And finally, when Jesus died, he died in Japan. He was about 107, but did he really die? See, this is all this Toltec shit. See what I'm saying? You can't put your finger on it, nor should you be able to. And Emmanuel, who dreamed Jesus up, died in India, in the Kashmir, about the same age, pretty close to the same age. But did he really die? See. Because it's known, if you read the books by Barrett T. Spalding, which are accurate, you'll see that Jesus and Emmanuel were roaming through the Himalayas, protecting people, protecting villagers from marauders in the 30s, 1930s. You see? I know you're probably saying, why doesn't Jesus come and save us? That's the point of his incarnation. You are saved. He said, these things ye do, these things I do, ye can do. Especially, like that was in Ephesians, casting out demons. You can cast the demons out from yourself. Quit being a fuckwad. Live a clean life. Keep your thought, word, and deed consistent. Quit being a coward and shit. Quit disconnecting. Be consistent. Have some courage. Some faith. And do what you know is correct. By the golden rule. See, Jesus only said one fucking thing that mattered in the whole goddamn Bible. Everybody else obsesses over all the other bullshit. One thing. That's it. The golden rule. That's it. Love each other. The golden rule. The golden rule of law. See what I'm saying? Tells about it. So see, the people that do that, they elevate. They transcend. See? Keep in mind golden. See? A lot of people don't love other races, but the ones that race makes become golden. You know, who's an incarnation of Jesus currently? Like, for instance, Barack Obama is Jesus Christ. But as an example, one little tidbit of information, you know, you trivia buffs out there. A lot of the saints that came along, and the Catholic saints, the early saints, had pieces of the astral body of Jesus that had died, of Jesus and Emmanuel. A lot of the sages from the Orient, India, that area of the world, Europe, had pieces of Emmanuel's astral body in theirs. Okay, when the astral body just dissipates, it breaks up in little, can break up in little pieces. And when an incarnating soul comes along that has a affinity for, that has developed to that type of level, a piece of it'll touch it. Like, you know, like St. Francis of Assisi, for instance, had a piece of the astral body of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So it's why it was, you know, had that much more, you know, dynamicness to him. You know what I'm saying? And what if what if Pope Francis now is St. Francis reincarnated? Does it make sense? So, anyway, there's your Jesus was a Toltec sorcerer. Just the basics of it, okay? Thanks there, folks.